Networking friend. Happy Wednesday. Happy networking know-how day. I'm so excited to be with you today. It's been a very full day caregiving and trying to be productive when you don't feel like it. Well, if this is you or you're feeling a little out of sorts, I've got a really cool tip for you. So, if this is your first time tuning in, let me just kind of explain what you're in for. Networking Know How is our weekly live training where I share some insight story and quick tips for you to network more stress-free and more meaningful than like we do in our Down and Dirty Networking online community. Our online community is 100% relational networking. We do not allow 30-second commercials or sales pitches. It is about having meaningful conversations to learn from and about someone to build lasting and authentic relationships. But if you're into traditional networking and you're looking for lead generation, there's still some value for you here. So stay tuned because I've got a really great topic today about how to co-elevate to truly connect. Connection is a little bit more than exchanging a business card or exchanging information in chat or in a private message. So, how do you do that? And how do you do it really simply when you already have an overwhelming kind of feeling or a full plate, as I like to say? Because not everything is bad. I like to say you have a full plate, which allows space and acknowledgement for the things that are good in your life, because there's always things that are good in your life. Like, for example, I get to stand outside today and really enjoy some fresh air when I'm mostly inside taking care of business in the virtual world that I live in. So if we haven't connected yet, my name is Laura Morlando, the Stress Commando, and I am the founder and CEO of Down and Dirty Networking. And like I mentioned, we go live, or I go live sometimes with myself or with a guest. We go live every week so that you can learn how to network more stress-free and have a more meaningful way of networking so you actually enjoy it, don't feel icky or smarmy, like we do in our online community. All right, so let's get into today's topic and let's kind of keep going. So first up, how do you truly connect? When you look at the Down and Dirty Networking mission statement, there are 3 C's: co-elevate, collaborate, connect. The order is intentional. And the reason it's intentional is you cannot connect with someone unless you truly co-elevated. When was the last time that you gave a sales pitch to somebody in a networking environment and you felt you really connected? Probably didn't. You might think, oh my God, they listen to me, they're going to buy my stuff. I assure you, that may not be the case. I used to think that if they listen to me, they're going to buy my stuff. No, not really. But when was the last time someone came to you and sold you something and you thought, oh my gosh, I'm so glad they sold me that? No, you're probably not going to have that. Think about the time you felt like you truly connected, like someone truly valued you, they saw you, you felt understood. You're like, oh my gosh, I am so much better for knowing them. They probably said something nice to you, they engaged, they probably asked a question. Somehow they poured value into you, more than likely. So think about that. See if that's true for you. Get up in the comments, let me know. This is a conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. I see a couple people watching live. Thank you. Thank you for watching live. And you're catching the replay. Thanks for watching on replay. Get up in comments too. I do read each and every one of the comments and reply to all of them. So be a part of our conversation. Okay, so back to what we're talking about. Think about the last time you really felt like you truly connected with somebody. And more than likely, that might have been in person. Sometimes it's a little bit harder online because we tend to overthink it. I know I do. I overthink it, analysis paralysis. Definitely something I'm guilty of. Get up and chat if you're right there with me. So here's a couple of quick tips I'm going to tell you of how you can truly connect by co-elevate. Right? So if you co-elevate everyone, you can truly connect. And the number one way to do that is to realize there's 2 ways that you network. There's traditional networking where it's more about exchanging business cards, leads, transactions, or asking for a job or a promotion. So it's hi, my name is, exchange information, buy my stuff. 30-second commercials. There's a time and a place for those. My first tip is a bonus tip. Make sure you're in the right event and the right room for that event, and you've been given permission to do that. There are a couple of really great groups that I'm a part of, and that's the absolute focus. And they give you permission, and they give you guidelines and framework how to connect on a more transactional, traditional space. Okay, so that's one way of networking. The other way of networking that I've been teaching for over 19 years, and what we're founded on here in Down and Dirty Networking, is 100% relational networking. And as I mentioned before, relational networking is about having a meaningful conversation to learn from and about someone to build a lasting and authentic relationship.
There are no sales pitches. There's no selling. If you just get into the room, if there's no just, if you get into every room, if you get up in every DM, if you get up in every post and you treat everyone like they're your best friend and you talk to them as if you've already known them, and what would you tell a best friend? You are already way ahead of the game. So first tip is adopt a relational networking mindset when you're engaging online, whether it's an event or whether it's getting up and getting in chat and connecting with people, maybe on LinkedIn, Facebook, or your platform of choice, maybe even Instagram. So here's tip number 2. Think about the perfect people that are like-minded for you that you would love to connect with. Now, last week we talked about having and developing your own online heart-centered community. It's different to have a list of contacts that aren't meaningful to you. Community is a whole nother concept, but you can build your own community of people that are heart-centered that you can reach out to. And one of the ways you do that is to co-elevate. So think about the type of person you want. Who's the like-minded person you would like to have more of in your sphere of influence? Maybe it's somebody that you already are connected to. You just haven't done that in a while. So you want to make sure that you're being a little bit more intentional. You're like, oh my gosh, I need to dust the cobwebs off this connection in this relationship and reconnect. Doesn't necessarily have to be someone new. But if you're thinking, oh my gosh, I need a whole new set of people that are more meaningful and more in line with where I'm at today, then craft the ideal person that you would love to connect with. This is something I tell all of my marketing clients because I'm also a marketing consultant. I wear a couple of different hats in addition to being the CEO of Down and Dirty Networking. But the number one thing is identifying what you need and describing the type of person you would love to have. And I would encourage you to not include the words anyone or someone. If you are focused on anyone or someone, you're going to get no one. Be very specific about who it is. I would also encourage you not to say anyone who has leads and wants to buy my stuff. I would leave that on the shelf for now. Focus on the characteristics of the people that you would really love to connect with, and that would make you have your vibrational energy soar anytime you would be connecting with them. All right. So relational networking, create a list of the people that you would love to reconnect or connect with. Then block out time on your calendar and engage and comment. One of the things I love, and we had this as a conversation at our last event, our member event, someone was commenting how they really dislike social media. We're asking for some feedback on what they were doing. And myself and another member go, oh my gosh, we love all the things we see on social media. The reason why is we have been very intentional on who we connect with. We have trained the algorithms to only show us more of that type of content. So anytime I pull up my feed, it's awesome. It's amazing people doing amazing things, heart-centered professionals and entrepreneurs who are focused on providing value and raising everyone's vibrational energy. So you can train the algorithm to do the same thing. You can walk into the physical or virtual rooms when you're at events and attract and connect those people when you have that particular mindset. So relational networking, identify the kind of person that you want to connect with or reconnect with. Once you have that, block out time in your calendar and actually be intentional about who you connect with. Maybe do a search for the type of person. This is where LinkedIn can be really helpful for you because you can find people that are, maybe there's a challenge you'd like to overcome or a skill you would like to learn and you want to look for an authority figure, an expert that you can really learn from. So here's an example. I have been following LinkedIn experts lately because I really want to level up my own personal LinkedIn personal brand, but also the brand of Down and Dirty Networking. And I connected with 2 different people today that had 2 totally different perspectives that are 100% related. And so one of the tips that I've always given here at Down and Dirty Networking, and you could probably hear it on past, our live videos, even our YouTube channel, instructional videos that we've given, is to actually give thoughtful comments on the content that people share that you want to connect with or reconnect with. That goes above and beyond the like thumbs up or, hey, maybe you're putting a heart in the comments or love this. You're actually being intentional and thoughtful of the comment that you're doing or sharing it with a really intentional post attached to it. Here's why I share that now. Because on today's 2 totally different things that I listened to, there was actual case study and proof that works. Now, I know it works. I've seen it work, but now I can have the numbers to back it. Number 1 tip. When you reply, especially on LinkedIn, but I've seen this in Facebook, I've even seen it on YouTube, and I've heard of others experience this on Instagram. When you thoughtfully comment and it's 15 or more words, that shows you've actually read the content, you paid attention to it. On LinkedIn, the algorithm is actually going to give you preference. It's going to show it as one of the comments. And so people are going to start looking at your profile. One of the things I've been very intentional about is making those comments. And I have been routinely seeing people reach out to follow and connect with me saying, oh my gosh, I saw your comment on so-and-so's post. I really loved what you had said. I'd love to connect with you. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great. And so now I go back to the post, I see who they are and how they commented, and I reply. And I say in the private message, and I said, thank you for noticing. I saw your comment. How are you connected to this person? And we just start a conversation. Remember, relational networking is about learning from and about someone, having a meaningful conversation. And a conversation can be a two-way conversation in DMs, virtual messages, chat. It could totally be that if you are open to it, if you are intentional about it. And now we know that, especially on LinkedIn, the algorithm is going to give you some love when you thoughtfully comment with 15 or more words. It's going to give you exposure, and more people are going to reach out and connect with you. Now, the other thing, on a totally another webinar, they were talking about how the algorithm will tank you and how people will just run away from you if you're always selling. Don't be spammy. Don't be selling. And there was this post and a series of other posts people tagged in this particular event that this gentleman had, talking about how it just rubs everybody the wrong way to be sold. No one likes to be sold. Yes, we all love to buy. I love to buy too, but I don't like to be sold. So make sure, even if you lean heavily into traditional networking, even if you're leaning more into transactional networking, I'm going to really challenge you to embrace a relational networking mindset, despite the fact that your goal is to transact sales, leads, contacts, things of that nature. And if you've been on the fence and you haven't really loved doing that, or you've been just completely turned off to networking because it's been too salesy, then I'm going to 100% encourage you to look at relational networking and try this strategy. And so the word co-elevate is when you're elevating them, you're cheering them, you're pouring into them, and guess what? They're going to co-elevate. They're going to elevate back. They're going to say, how did you, what did you learn? Just like in that post example that I gave you, where they're loving my comments and they were elevating me, thanking me for my great comment, and being very specific about what they loved about it. It wasn't just, hey, I liked it. The ones that say, hey, I liked it, usually the next post I get after I accept their connection request is they're pitching me something they want me to buy. But the person that actually took the time to do 15 words or more and actually tell me why they loved what I was providing, those are the people that create more value, and we get in a really cool dialogue. So I would encourage you to do the same. Get into these conversations where you're elevating them, and guess what? They're going to elevate you somehow, whether it's with the comments, whether it's a resource or something else. Another great way to co-elevate is to provide value free of any expectation of anything in return. I've had a couple of really hard days, pain-wise and caregiving-wise, and I saw an article that totally matched with two people that I know. And so I sent them private messages and I let them know, hey, I was thinking about you. Don't know if this is, something that would be interesting of you, but just I'm thinking about you. Both of them responded like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed. So one, I felt like I was doing something of value and I was doing something productive on a day that I wasn't feeling very productive. And two, they got back to me and they let me know how important it was. Then we had a few more comments. And that was a way to elevate me by me elevating them. And we didn't transact anything, but it was awesome. I felt good. They had other ideas. We've had other exchanges. It's been a great conversation. And just today, on the day when it's been really hard that I told you, I'm going to be a speaker. I am a marketing consultant as well as the CEO and founder of Down and Dirty Networking. And I help people market and leverage AI. And I'm going to be a speaker in February for this community. And somebody in the community reached out and gave me a wonderful email today. They didn't know what kind of day I was having. And they were like, Laura, I'm so excited that you're going to be our speaker. They told me why, what they're hoping to learn. And because we're both Niner fans, that's the red. They were like, hey, go Niners. I'm super excited about the game this weekend. And so we've chatted back and forth about that. That was such a nice message. It totally elevated my spirit, skyrocketed my vibrational energy. And one of the things that I really loved is they had no idea what bad day I had. Further proof you never know the impact you're going to have on somebody by just simply being kind, just sharing that you're thinking about them, or that you're excited you're going to be seeing them as this speaker or at this other event, or just commenting thoughtfully on their content that they're producing on social media. It's really lonely when you're putting out content. It's very vulnerable. On my mastermind call today with the mastermind I'm in, my podmates were sharing how it's so hard to put yourself out there and be that vulnerable and then kind of wait to see what people say. Just same thing when I started doing these lives. You're like, is there any really value? And you wonder, are the crickets chirping because there's no value? Here's what I've learned. Gen Z has it right. They're only going to like and comment on things that are of value to them because they want to train the algorithm to give them more of that content. It doesn't mean that they didn't find value in that particular piece. They just have no desire to see any additional pieces. So my point to you is, you have no idea who you're impacting with your one message if you are solely relying on likes, comments. You're not going to know. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep helping the one person every day that you choose to help. And I guarantee you, you're going to help that one person. You may not know it all the time, but you will. Keep moving forward. Okay, so a lot of it tangents here. I hope this was helpful. When you want to truly connect with somebody, co-elevate, just like we do here at Down and Dirty Networking community. Adopt a relational networking mindset. I want you to identify the people that you want to connect with. So I'm challenging you to do this. Pick a number. How many people do you want to connect with per week? Or maybe you do it differently. Say, I'm going to block out 5 minutes to connect with people every week, or I'm going to do 5 minutes every other day. You choose. But go ahead and post in the comments. I'd love to know what you're challenging yourself with this week, because you get to craft it. You're in control of how this works and your own networking experience and how you love it. So I would encourage you to do that. So relational networking, identify your people, and then actually block the time off and do it, and thoughtfully comment, and then share your results. Comment with me. If you're posting content, tag me, and I would gladly reach out to your content and see how I can support you and co-elevate you. So comment here, give me a thumbs up if this has been helpful. Tag a friend if you know someone who could really use this, and let me know if this is a different way for you to truly connect. As always, I'm open to more discussion on how to truly co-elevate, how to truly connect, and how to make networking more meaningful and something you enjoy instead of something you hate and resist. All right, thanks so much for those of you who have been watching. I see some people live. Thank you for watching and staying with me through this video. For those watching on replay, thank you so very much. And as always, stay tuned every Wednesday afternoon, sometime between 3:30 and 5:30 Central Time. I go live to give you these tips. Sometimes I'm alone, sometimes I'm interviewing somebody, but I hope this is helpful, and I hope it raises your vibrational energy. If you love these tips, make sure you look at the Down and Dirty Networking LinkedIn, Facebook, or YouTube page, and go back on all of our other lives. And you can look at our other videos, especially on YouTube, that we have curated by playlist, if you would like to kind of shake the cobwebs off your networking and raise the bar, as it were, so do something a little bit more refreshing and meaningful. All right, I hope this was helpful. Can't wait to talk to you soon. And until next Wednesday, I think my mouth is shutting down. Until next Wednesday, happy networking. Bye.